I'm Jennifer Barta, Second Chance Coordinator at the Oregon Humane Society. My passion for Second Chance really began the month after I started. I started here in January of 2010, and in February, I remember being in the adoption office and I heard people talking about, oh, these Second Chance animals that are going to come in, and they're coming in from the shelter from California, and they're going to get here at 11 o'clock at night. And I was like, what? And I just thought, oh, this seems exciting. I want to be a part of this. What is this? And so when they started talking, they said these are shelters that have to euthanize 60, 70, 80, 90% of their animals. And I just thought, what? And they're coming in at 11 o'clock at night. Like, I want to be here after hours. I want to be part of this. This is exciting. So that's where my passion started for it. This is a shelter in Idaho. And as you can see, this little office here, this is where all the adoptions, all the admissions, all the, anything, any surrenders, any vaccinations that they're trying to do, random stray dogs, fostering, everything is through that little tiny office. And this is one of their animal control officers, and they only have 2 of them for about 3 cities. And he's so proud of what he does, but that's it. That's all the staff that they have. And they have 1 volunteer. And the reason I want to highlight them is just 3 years ago, so you can see this teeny tiny shelter here, no bigger than like a large garage you work out of. They have thousands of animals that come through a year. And just 3 years ago, they were 97% euthanasia. 97% of those animals died. And the best part about this is 3 years later, they're 97% save rate. And you kind of wonder why. All because of transports. They realized that they did not have the adoptions where they were, so they started transferring out. I mean, you look at OHS, and then you look at this, and there's still so many shelters like this that need help, that want help. This is where we work. So if you look at the United States, our main focus always, of course, is Oregon first. And if you look at the concentration about Portland, it's kind of a big blob because there's so many agencies that we work with. And you guys have probably heard of our coalition and our local shelters, Multnomah County, Washington County, Clackamas County. That's our main priority, is to focus around those shelters and what do they need first. Focus of the state of Oregon and then down into California and far off places with higher euthanasia. As you can see from this, we're actually able to go down to California about once a week, and then also as far out as Hawaii. But then if you take a look back at Oregon as a whole, not, maybe a little over 20 years ago in 1993, over 53,000 shelter animals died. That's 60% of euthanasia in the state of Oregon. But what I love to see is the progression of how the euthanasia in Oregon has gone down. But what's even more remarkable is how, as euthanasia goes down in the state of Oregon, OHS grows. And so you think, okay, we're at 2014. Look at all the progress we've made. It's amazing. But how did we get here? This was Oregon Humane and Oregon as a state working together. These are all these shelters working together, deciding, hey, we're going to take charge. We're going to transfer animals. We're going to spay and neuter more. We're going to work together and be committed to one another and see what we can do. So how do we help? How does OHS help as a whole? We save lives. And since we've started in 2001, we've been able to save over 40,000 lives. That's our main focus, of course. But to also share resources. So one of the big things we see of all these small shelters is that sometimes, yes, they need us to take animals, but sometimes they need some food. They might need some vaccinations. They need something. They don't have the support that we have. They're 3 hours away in a town with literally 1,000 people. They need something. So any resources that we can, we love to share. And then we love to mentor and educate. And one of the things that OHS strives to do is help those that can help themselves. So we love to encourage people, okay, how can you be better? What do you need from us? Do you want our SOPs, our operating procedures? Do you want our handbooks? Do you want any of the things that we do? We've had classes and conferences, and they can come to our behavior classes or watch our behavior assessments. Anything that we have, we want to share. But now what? I don't expect you to read all this, but I want to show you. When I sit down at my desk on my Monday, I'm inundated with, can you take this? Can you help me? What can we do? And a lot of this is medical, behavior, 3-week-old kittens. We don't have a foster program like you do. What can you do? Can you help us? And this is only a handful of what we get. If you look at the list of, say, 10, 15, 20, but you know you only have room for 3 or 4, every day I'm faced with that decision. Does this animal live or die? I know that sometimes if I say no, I know what happens. That's tough. A little emotional thinking about it. So I'm going to focus on 3 of my favorites. The Pomeranian that needs more medical attention that we can give. Can you help us? This Pomeranian in particular had a leg that was an old injury that was fused together, didn't even use it, skin that was just crusted with sores and half of the hair was missing, and this poor Pomeranian was hot pink. I mean, literally it looked like chicken skin, like a turkey neck. It was really sad. 2 kittens, litter of kittens that have been at that shelter for 4 months. The shelter is inundated and they're having to euthanize left and right. 2, a terrier, very sweet when it knows you, terrified in the shelter, and if you push it too hard, it's going to bite you. So I see that and I think, ugh. And then they send me photos. And then I see, oh, my weakness is the crusty Pomeranians. I love it. But if you see this skin, I mean, just awful. And I saw the picture of that Pomeranian and I was like, oh, can we do this? Can OHS help this? This is a local shelter that does not have any medical resources. They don't have a hospital. So they look to OHS. We're their big brother. Can we do this? What do? If you're faced with that, then you're faced with the pictures. You want to help as many as possible, but you know, gosh, we just don't have that much room. We have these current constraints. We're a hospital built for 6,000, 7,000 surgeries a year, and I can guarantee we're doing 12. We have our current kennel capacity. We have limited staff and volunteers to assist with these extreme medical and behavior cases. And OHS is very big on, we're going to take in what we know we can handle and care for properly. It's kind of like the analogy when you prepare a dinner for 6, you're planning that dinner party, you have meals for 6, you have, place setting for 6, the doorbell rings and 25 show up. What do? Do you turn them away? Because people are hungry. So what do? So our dilemma is, we have the knowledge, the skills, and the reputation to save thousands of lives each year. Who would you choose? Would you choose the litter of kittens? Would you choose the Pomeranian? Or would you choose the terrier? What do? What if you don't have to choose? What if there's a way that we can do more? That we could save all 3? What if we could save all 15? What if we could take this to this? You see the difference on Myrna's face from where she was to the home? She's a great dog once she knows you, but she needed lots of behavior assistance. She needed a lot more time. She needed more love and to feel secure. These kittens came from Hawaii. They were at their shelter for 4 months. 4 months of being available for adoption. They came, and within 20 minutes, one of those kittens was adopted already. And within 1 day, the rest of them were adopted. And those are larger kittens. Those aren't tiny kittens. But that's the thing, is they can sit somewhere for 4 months. And then you have Smoochie here. She got all her teeth pulled, her leg was fixed, and as you can see, all her hair grew back and she's running on the beach. And she has her own Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook account. So she's golden and she's in the perfect home. But what if? What if we could take those to all look like that? And what if we could do more?